Hello, my name is Paula and this is my podcast video about sewing, knitting and toy making. I live in the UK in Norfolk, as you can probably tell from my accent, and you can find me on Instagram and Etsy as Stitched by Mrs D. I look rough today, don't I? I don't know what's going on. Well, I have been out in the rain. That's what we'll say it is. I haven't even had a nap yet. My hair hasn't had the chance to get all flat. Never mind. And this is effort as well. Did I straighten my hair this morning? Yes, I did. Oh, never mind. This isn't about fashion, is it? Or makeup. Thank goodness. Anyway, shall I tell you all what I'm wearing? This is my Dust of Snow wrap. Well, it's not really a wrap anymore. I think I need to reblock it. It's a nice scarf though. And this pattern is by Helen Stewart, Curious Handmade. And it's made with 24 different coloured minis. And it's designed as an advent knit so that you can knit all of your advent yarns into it. I made this Christmas 2018 and I didn't make it with advent yarn because I didn't have an advent calendar, but I made it with all of my leftover sock yarn. It's very pretty. I love that pink. My husband bought me that. So pretty. It smells nice as well. It smells of my perfume. I've also got on, it's called the Raspberry Twirl sweater. This is where my t-shirt is. I haven't got bumpy arms. But I call it a jumper because I don't call these sweaters, I call them jumpers. And I test knitted this for the designer, who is called Francesca Hughes. And it's called the Raspberry Swirl. I think I've already said that. I made it from Drops Kid Silk and 2 different shades of Drops Alpaca. The designer says that it's the first thing you put on when you feel cold, and it's the first thing you take off when you get too hot, and it's right. I did knit it in the middle of the summer and it was very, very warm when I was making it. But I love it. I wear it a lot. I just wanted to say I'm aware that the picture quality is not very good. I tried to film with my camera round the other way, and I know this is going to sound silly, but it was too clear and it made me look very, very rough. It makes me look worse than I actually do. So I'm going to insert pictures, I think, of the things I've been making this week so that you can see them properly, because I'm aware that you couldn't see them properly. But never mind. It's quite a chilly day today. It's been raining. I haven't got the heating on though, because I don't have it on when the children are here. I'll put it on an hour before they come home. I can keep myself warm. I put on extra layers, extra socks, a scarf, and I have a hot water bottle as well. This is my favourite weather. I love the rain. And when I finished doing this, I'm going to make myself my favourite coffee, and I'm going to cast on some new socks, and I'm going to watch The Crown. And I've even got a cat looking at me. And I think that it's going to climb on my lap as well. Can't wait. So I'll get on with it. So I'm going to show you my finished things. There aren't very many, but never mind. These, I'm going to try and smile a bit more as well, because last time when I watched it back, I thought I looked quite miserable. And I'm normally quite a smiley person. Oh look, I've cut my fringe. Haven't I done a bad job? Oh, that's what happens when you use the kitchen scissors to to do your fringe. We'll push it in there. These are my finished prairie socks. I'm going to insert photos because I know you can't see it properly. I don't want you to get a close-up of me as well. These are such a beautiful colour and such a beautiful pattern. The poor quality of filming does not do them justice. I absolutely loved making these, and I know that I'm going to love wearing them. These are going to be my treat when I get home from work on Monday. They're going to be there waiting. I'm going to put them on the radiator and they'll be waiting for me. Oh, I can't wait. They're lovely. I made these on 2.5mm needles. The yarn is from Dusty Dimples and the pattern is called Prairie Socks by Kay Jones from the Bakery Bears. I absolutely love them. The yarn was a present from my husband for Christmas. It's very good. He picks it all himself. I love a surprise when it comes to yarn. The other thing I wanted to show you, I spoke about this hat that I'd made, which is the Raspberry Jam Beret by, I think it's called Mama's Teddy Bear, but I'll write it on the screen. And then, because I was complaining about the fit, and I thought, well, I didn't block it, did I? Of course it's not going to fit very well. And then I remembered that Ali from Little Drops of Wonderful had made the same beret in a lovely green. So I went back and I watched the episode where she talks about hers. And she said that she'd blocked it over a dinner plate, which is what I did, and it's just completely changed it. I wear it all the time now. I'll see if I can put it on without making myself look daft. Oh, my fringe has grown. I had cut it a little bit, but yeah, it's a lot more beret shaped now. The other day I put it on when I'd finished work, and I got home and I looked in the mirror and I had that side in and that side out. And I went to the school and picked up my little girl. She must have been mortified. But never mind. Yeah, I love it. And I'm going to make another one. I want to make a red one next. Although I have got a bright sort of purple coat. I don't know if that will match. Never mind, we'll see. I don't care anyway, I don't think. So the next thing I've been making... Oh, hello. Who's this? This is little Pansy. She's only tiny. Can you see her? She's got a little jumper on, which has been made from cotton with a tiny patch. A very beautiful Tilda skirt. Don't be embarrassed. She's got a tiny pair of knickers on as well, with a little button on them. I don't think you can see. Again, I'll put some close-ups of her. Not of her knickers, because that would embarrass her, but she's very sweet. Oh, hello Pansy. I've put Pansy in my Etsy shop, but I won't be at all worried if she doesn't go, because I don't know if you can see. I've got this dresser up here, and this is where I put all of my little teddy bears. This is where they live. And she gets on very well with Judy, so I think Judy the rabbit would be quite pleased if she stayed as well. But yeah, you all right up there, girls? I talk rubbish, don't I? Of course, I've been by myself all day. The other thing I've been working on is my temperature blanket. And I've decided that I've now got it to the width that I want it to be. And it's 14 squares across. There you go. So they go from the 1st of January all the way through to, this is the 14th of January. And then I've got the 15th of January, which I did yesterday, and then I'm going to do the 16th in a little while. And I'm sewing these all together by hand. I love stitching things together. I just think it's nice just to hold a needle and thread. I know it sounds silly, but yes, I have enjoyed doing this, but I did get behind for a couple of days, and I'm not going to do that again because I got fed up with it. I didn't want to do 4 squares all at once. I'm much better if I just stick to doing it all the time. I've bought myself this to keep it all in. This was from TK Maxx. Oh, what was that? I bet a cat has scratched it. This was from TK Maxx. I think it's to put babies' nappies in. But it's just right. It fits everything in perfectly. And it matches this room. So yes, I'm enjoying that. But I will not get behind again. So I'm going to do 14 squares across because that's just right. And I think I've worked out that it will go down, I think 26, and then there'll be 2 squares left over, and I'll probably stitch 2020 on those. And yeah. Now, something else I've been making, we have to be careful because she's not quite finished and I don't want her to be embarrassed. This is little Daisy. She's a bunny. She's very cute. You'll see the problem in a minute. She's got a very nice little tail under her skirt. I really shouldn't keep showing everybody your knickers, should I? She hasn't got a jumper yet. That's another job for this evening. She was named by my daughter. She's got a lovely little Tilda skirt on. Don't know if you can see. Oh, that's okay. Yeah, and she will be going in my Etsy shop as well. Sorry, I'm going to have to show them. She's got purple knickers on. And I'll put some close-ups of her in as well. Once she's got her jumper. You embarrassed? Would you like to go and stand up there with Pansy? I'll put her up here so that you can't see her. I love making teddy bears and bunnies. I don't use a pattern. I just draw straight onto the fabric. And I always make the head first, and I do their eyes and their nose. Well, I do their nose first, and then their mouth, and then I put little pins in and keep playing around until I get the right position for the eyes. Then I stitch the ears on, and then I will draw the body and the arms and the legs and stitch the skirt on and everything. Yeah. Do you remember Jasper, who I showed you last time? Well, my daughter has taken a liking to him, so he won't be going anywhere, I'm afraid. This happens quite a lot. I make things and then I can't part with them. There was one bear that I made and she sold, and I regret it. I wish I hadn't have sold her. I still look at pictures of her now and wish I'd have kept her, but never mind. Yeah, I love making teddy bears. Right, the next thing I've been working on is a knitting project, and I started this about a week ago. And this is a test knit, but I've checked with the lady to see if I'm allowed to talk about it, and I am. And no one watches anyway, so it really doesn't matter. So this is called the Georgia sweater, and it's by Verity, who runs the Truly Hooked yarn dyeing shop. And she's designed lots of patterns as well. She does socks and lots of jumpers as well. Yeah, so this is so lovely to knit. I don't know if you can see, but it's very unusual because it's got bust darts knitted into it. And I've never found a pattern that's got these before. They're always in my dressmaking ones if I make a dress, but this is so useful because I'm quite small around the top and then I get a little bit bigger here. So it's hard to get something that will fit in both places, if you know what I mean. So this is perfect. Don't know if you can see. That's the back. And the sleeves, I think you call it seed stitch, but I've always called it moss stitch. So I've got those to go. And I've just got to knit some more length. I'm absolutely loving it. But the yarn that I'm using, I got from my local yarn shop because I like to buy from there as much as I possibly can. And this is Alpaca Tweed by Stylecraft. This isn't really the colour that I wanted, but they had a special offer where you bought 5 balls of it and then you got a pattern, and the patterns were quite nice. So yeah, I wanted a grey with flecks, with tweedy flecks in, so it's quite close, isn't it? This colour is called Emperor, which is a strange name. I imagine, I don't know why, but I associate the word Emperor with blue. Why do I? I don't know. Is there a bird? Emperor? Oh, I don't know. I'm talking rubbish again. But yes, 100 grams. And I love alpaca. This is, I think I've already said this is made from alpaca. Yeah. So I will look forward. This is easy peasy now. Well, the whole thing has been easy peasy. But I'm looking forward to getting it finished. It shouldn't take me too long. I'll try and put some close-ups in again of the sleeves and the darts as well because they're so clever. I don't think I've ever seen it before. But who knows? I'm keeping this in my basket. My neighbour gave this to me, my old neighbour, because I love red. Look, it's got a lovely red handle. And it used to have red stripes along here. Now, you may notice it's a little bit battered. Can you see here, here, here? Guess who did that? My rabbit. He used to be able to go wherever he wanted in my house, but I've had to restrict his access. He still has a wonderful time with all of the other pets, but he's not allowed in the front room anymore because he just completely wrecked it. He didn't do too much damage, but he's like chewed the legs of tables, ruined this. He's ruined another one of my baskets. He chewed through the wire of a set of knitting needles when it had stuff on it. He chewed through some headphones. And it's so quick as well. You think, oh, he's chewing something. You go to get it, but it's too late. The damage has been done. But I've learnt my lesson. Such a shame though, because I love this basket. But never mind. And look who I've got in here. Tom Kitten. He's looking after the jumper for me and staying warm. He was a present from my children on Mother's Day. What else have I got to show you? Oh, now I haven't started this yet, but last night I wound this wool up. Oh no, where have I put the band? I had the band somewhere so I could tell you what it was. Oh, I don't know. I'm not very good, am I? Did I put it in here? Oh yes, here it is. Oh, I'm more organised than I thought I was. So this was from Ducky Darlings, and it was their mystery yarn club, and it was Cinderella themed, and it's called Glass Slipper. Now this was the December yarn club. I'm sure everybody would have it by now. Or was it the November one? Well, I got it in December, early December, but if you haven't got it, look away now. Oh, I wound it up last night. You can't really see how lovely it is. It's like a, not an aqua. What do they call it in Laura Ashley? Eau de Nil. Is that what they call it? It's lovely. And it's got some speckles of blue and yellow. And I just love it. Do you know, I wind all of my balls up by hand, all of my yarn, and I'd say I get just as much pleasure from doing that as I do knitting. I just love it, even if it gets in a tangle. Although the first time my husband bought me a ball winder, and I dyed some yarn myself and I didn't know that there's a direction to go in, and also that you have to keep it like separate. And I just put one end on the ball yarn, on the ball winder, and I started to rotate it. Well, you can imagine. It took me and my husband, because he had to help, and I had to cut it up into like small balls and separate it out. It took us 3 nights to untangle it. That was a lesson learned the hard way, but now I know. I just love this. I'm going to make the French meringue socks by Vanilla Wool, and so hopefully I'll have a little bit of those to show you next time. Isn't that a lovely colour? Oh, yes. And I've got my needles ready. These are I call these higher normals because they're not high sharps. So they're higher normals, and they're 2.5, and I think these are my favourites, my favourite needles to knit socks on. I always knit on DPNs. I tried Magic Loop and it was not for me. And these are going to live in this bag. I made this myself, and it's all made from vintage fabrics. I love vintage fabrics. I think my favourite one is this one with the little flowers on. I've got a big bit of that here. Look, this is what I cut it from. Isn't it beautiful? Love it. But I'm saving that to make something special. I think I'm going to make a big project bag in the next few days from this. I love it. Yeah, all vintage fabrics, and I've just lined it in some cream. Isn't it nice thinking about what these used to be? Like, they could have been curtains, they could have been clothes. I hope they weren't knickers. I don't think they were. I think the pieces are too small that I cut from for them to be knickers. I hope not. But they don't feel like knicker fabric, so we'll keep our fingers crossed. And this blue, that's vintage as well. And I've just put a little heart on it. I think I'm going to have a visitor now. I can see a cat backing out from the window, just his tail. He'll probably come and sit on my lap. He's been very needy over the last few days. So yeah, I'm going to start those tonight. I'm going to watch something really good on the telly. I've just realised, or I realised yesterday, that the Downton Abbey film was out. Oh, I've been desperate to watch it. We were going to go and watch it at the cinema, but we never got round to it. I don't really like the cinema either. It's too loud, and I get fidgety legs, so I always have to sit on the end with one leg out in the like alleyway bit. Yeah, it's too loud. I do like to take my knit in there though, but I have had times where I've had to leave to sort it out because I've dropped a stitch, and I've had to go outside where it's light, sort it out, and then come back in, so I have missed bits. But I can't sit there and just do nothing. Now what else have I got? Oh, I've got one thing to show you. I've just got to go over here. Oh, I've got the wrong bag. I've got to go back. Right, so do you remember last time I said that over December, so these few months I try and stockpile yarn because I like to have just the right amount for me to use, and then when I start to run out I'll buy another one. But I do treat myself at this time of the year because of Christmas and birthdays, and then my husband will always buy me some for Valentine's, and then I've got Mother's Day as well, and my children will buy me some as well. So then by the time it gets back round to December, I've just about used everything. I don't count jumper quantities of yarn in this arrangement I've got with myself, because I tend to just buy that as I'm going to use it, although I have got something there that my husband bought me to make another floozy with, but I just see it as buy myself another top, because I don't know why I feel like I've got to justify it anyway, but I saw this for sale and I still had some Christmas money left over, so I thought I've got to buy that. So this was from Elm Tree Yarns, and it's the Beatrix colourway, and it's superwash merino and nylon, 75/25. Oh, isn't it lovely? And I just couldn't resist. I'm going to make a really nice pair of socks with this. I don't know what pattern. Isn't it just the most lovely colour? I love it. People from work think I'm a bit weird because they don't get it. I love that. Like, they all have like nice clothes delivered to the office, but I have these delivered. They don't get it. But I can't wait to turn this into a ball. Oh, I love it. So isn't that beautiful? So this will be used soon. I don't really like to have more yarn than I can use. So this is my bag that I'm keeping my supply for the year in, and I think that it's just about got enough. I have got one club come in, but that's okay because I'm going to use that for a shawl. Anything's okay. I can have what I want, can't I? I don't know why I'm trying to justify it. It doesn't matter. And it's supporting people's businesses as well, isn't it? I do love yarn clubs. I would rather have, or apart from this one, because I did pick this one myself, I would rather have a surprise. I very rarely see something and go, yep, that's what I want, apart from when it comes to yarn for clothes, because I think you have to be quite picky with, not picky, but obviously certain colours suit you. I don't know what's going on with my hair today. My dog is snoring again. Yeah, so I think that's everything. I just wanted to talk a little bit about why I wanted to do this, and the long and short of it is I haven't got anybody else to talk to about sewing and knitting and making teddy bears. I've got my husband and he does listen, but oh my goodness, if we were to put our details into a dating website, there's no way on earth we would get matched because we are so different. The only thing we've got in common is that we like each other. And I suppose we do laugh at the same things, which is quite good. But the conversations we have, like I will go into, like I'll say, oh, look at this, isn't this beautiful? And then he will tell me about something to do with boxing, or about, what else is he into at the moment? Oh, I don't know. See, I don't listen, do I? I don't know, like jiu-jitsu. He'll talk about that and I will talk about this. Or talk about this. Or I'll say, oh, look, James, isn't this fabric pretty? And yeah, he tries his best. But I expect he feels the same way as I do about the boring stuff he tells me about. And then I try to tell my friends at work about it, and they try hard as well, and they're all very nice about the things I make. But I think it's different to people who sort of do it as well. Do you know what I mean? So that's why I wanted to do it. And also this year I've decided I'm going to start being a bit braver about everything. Everything. So I'm a bit of a wimp, really. I worry too much. So I thought this would be a good way to make myself braver. I worry about everything. Even if I'm laying in bed and I think, oh, yeah, I could feel myself drifting off now. What can I worry about? So then I'll just find something to worry about. Yeah. So that's why I decided to do it. My cat is asleep on the table and she looks so beautiful. She's such a nice little cat. I've got 3 cats. I've got Kim, who is a rescue cat, and she's not black and white, she's white and black. I expect she'll join us one day because she does like to be with me. And she's got one ear which is bent over like this. She hasn't got very many teeth. And we think she's about 10. And she was a rescue cat, and I saw her on the internet. I thought, oh, I think she's lovely. It was her ear that appealed to me. It might put some people off, but I really like her. And then I've got Doug, and Doug, puss puss. He's at the window at the moment. He's the one that I saw reversing, and he is a tabby. Apparently he is a mackerel tabby. I think he's grey. My husband thinks he's brown, and apparently you can tell he's a mackerel tabby because he's got an M on his head, and he actually has got an M. And also on his paw, he's got, I'll get him and I'll show you, he's got a smiley face on his paw. Come on. Come on. Oh. Here he is. Doug, look. So this is his M. And then on his paw, you see he's got a little smiley face. There. He'll sit with me now. I did have 2, just like Doug. I had his brother Teddy. But when Teddy was about 3, he died so very suddenly. It was awful. I still find it quite hard to think about it, actually. It's well, of course I do. But you're 10 now, aren't you? And I bought him with my wedding money. When we got married. So handsome. He's lovely. He's very needy though. He likes to cuddle, and he likes my hair. He thinks, I don't know if he thinks I'm his mum, but he goes like that in my hair. And then I've got another cat, and her name is Pam, and she is black and white, and she doesn't really want a lot to do with any of the humans in the house. She loves all the animals, and she rubs round them all, and she'll lay on her back. But the humans, no. She's not interested in us. She had a hard start in life. She'd had a litter of kittens before she was 1. And she's a rescue cat as well. I got her from the same place I got Kim from. And all of her kittens were rehomed, and nobody wanted her. So I got her. She's quite fat, quite big. She's lovely. and she lives with my rabbit, and they love each other, and he hops after her. My rabbit is called Mr. Bobkin, and he is a beautiful black rabbit. I never understood how people could get like a bit silly over a rabbit, but ever since I got him, I'm obsessed with him. I love him. Oh, Doug, you're so beautiful. And then I've got 2 dogs. Where are you? Oh, there he is. I've got 2 dogs, and I never know how to say their breed. They are Lhasa Apsos or Lhasa Apsos. I think I say Lhasa Apsos. And they are called Dennis and Lillian, and they're brother and sister. We got Lillian first, and then I used to feel guilty going to work. She only used to be by herself for 5 hours once a week, but I felt awful about it. She used to put her chin on the back of the sofa and watch me go. So when her mum was expecting another litter, I said, well, if you get a boy, I'll have one. And she had all girls and 1 boy. In fact, the mum, I think she's had 4 litters, and they've all been girls apart from Dennis. And they are so sweet together. They follow each other everywhere. If you see one and the other one isn't there, you worry, because they're just always together. Oh, I'm talking rubbish, aren't I? But never mind. Yeah, so that's all my animals. I'm sure one by one you'll be introduced to them gradually. Come on, Doug. He likes to sit up here with me, don't you? Hey, he's purring. Well, I think that will do for today. Thank you for watching. Thank you to the few people who subscribed. I know it's boring. I know it's rubbish. But it is helping me be braver. I haven't told anybody who knows me that I'm doing this. Although I've got a sneaky suspicion that my husband might know, because he found my rubbish sock blocker and he said, "What's this?" and gave me a look as if to say he knew exactly what it was and he'd seen it. But he hasn't said anything. Anyway, I'm going to go make myself a lovely drink. I might treat myself and put the heating on. I'm going to fill up my hot water bottle. I'm going to watch The Crown, and I'm going to start my new socks. And I'm going to put my pyjamas on. Best night ever. So thank you all, and I'll probably see you again another day. Goodbye.